Hi, it's Michelle Barr. I'm excited to be here talking to you today. This has been percolating for a little bit, and I'm ready to start talking about it. I have a fun manifesting story. I have some universal law I'm throwing in there today, and some things for you to really think about and really get clear on. Hi, come on in. It's great to see you. So a fun manifesting story, some universal law, and some things for you to really think about. I've been getting really clear on some things recently that I am going to help you get clear as well. So I want to start. I'm trying to think where to start. I have my head so full of things to share with you. I'm going to start with Louise Hay's birthday party, which is what I put at the title of this. Hi, come on in. It's great to see you. In our lifetime, we have times when we have these big, powerful, energetic, magnetic moments, and we step into them, and we don't even know in the moment how big they're going to be, or maybe we feel it and we sense it. And then there are other times in our life where these energetic loops bring us back to touch that place again. And that's where I have found myself recently, a memory that happened in 2008, 10 years ago. So when we discover, when we go through things, when we feel like we've cleared, healed, and resolved issues, those big issues that are with us in our lifetime, and some people look at it at you're here and then you heal it and you're here. Then they're surprised when they come back around, because it's not a linear line. It is a spiral. And we come back and spiral around to touch these places and these circumstances again. And we're different. We're in a new energetic stance. And we get to come in at that new place and face these things again and deal with these things again and look at these things again. This happens to me all the time. Have you ever found where you're called by some circumstance back to a place that had a lot of meaning, and you actually, sometimes I get a sense I need to have my feet on the ground in a certain place, or you end up back somewhere where there are memories, there is energy there, there's something magnetic there, and you step back into that place. So this is what what is going on with me. And it is always because you have asked for something, and we leave the house to the universe, and the universe comes back around and gives us everything we need to follow the breadcrumbs. So this experience from 10 years ago all of a sudden kept showing up. And here's why. In 2008, I was not sure what I was going to be doing. I was deciding what I was doing. I was in a place where I had spent a solid year just sitting on the couch, not knowing what I was doing. We had made a big move. I had realized I'm not going back into a job, but I didn't know what was next, and that's a scary place to be in. Right before this call, I was talking to a client about leaving the house to the universe, even when you want to know all the steps. It's challenging. I felt really called to gift myself with a birthday trip to Tampa, Florida. And I was being called to go to this Louise Hay I Can Do It conference. Now, I trust these things, and I know a lot of you get those nudges and then you talk yourself out of it. My calendar, the money, the time, it wouldn't be responsible. I have other obligations. I've learned to trust and make these things happen, and I was really feeling it. I went alone. I made the decision to stay in the host hotel where all the people, including Louise Hay and all the people that were part of the conference, were staying, to treat myself, which at the time was a big stretch for me. I bought the plane ticket and I went. Now, here's my fun manifesting story, because people like me to share these manifesting stories, and it's going to show you the best way to manifest when things come in the easiest. And this is a small example, but I do this with big things too. Hi, welcome, come on in. I had been working with, at the time, my Theta Healer teacher, and I was telling her I was going to this conference, and as part of the conference, I got to pick one of the people to spend a whole day with before the conference. I'd paid extra for this bonus day, and I chose Abraham, Esther, and Jerry Hicks. And I said, I really want to meet them. And I told her, I'm going to manifest an elevator moment. Now, your words are powerful and your thoughts become things when you are aligned to them. So I was saying it as a saying, an elevator moment in my mind, one of those moments where you bump into them and you get to meet them. But I was so clear, and here's why it manifested so quickly and so easily. Anytime you have a high desire, I was just, wouldn't that be amazing? I have this desire to be in their energy, to connect with them one-to-one, and just to get to talk to them, just to get to meet them. I had no attachment. If it didn't happen, I'm fine. I don't lose anything. Nothing bad happens. I had no ideas about I'm not good enough to just run into them and meet them and say hi. So you see, that's when I manifest the quickest and the easiest. Anytime I'm manifesting from that place of, wouldn't it be great? And if it doesn't happen, okay, but I totally know I can make it happen. So you expect it. You put your desire out there. It feels exciting and fun. There's nothing pulling it down, dragging it down, taking your desire back or negating it. And you just know, you expect it's going to happen. That's when things manifest, the little things and the big things. So sure enough, I got there. I pull up in the car to the hotel to unload my stuff, and Esther and Jerry get out of the car right in front of me, and I'm like, oh, here's my elevator moment. So I'm getting my stuff, they go in, so then I'm right behind them in line and we're checking in. So they're right in front of me, and again, I'm not going to tap them on the shoulder. I'm not going to talk to them, but I'm trying to get up my nerve to not be fangirl and not be all intrusive. They're trying to check into the hotel, but the universe is giving me this moment. They check in, and then they walk off for a minute, and I think they're gone. I'm like, oh, I missed my moment. No, I didn't. I'm good. And I check in. And when I come around the corner to go to my room, they have gotten in the elevator, and they see me, and they hold the elevator door, and Esther says, come on, we're holding the elevator for you. It was so fun. My elevator moment, literally. I get in the elevator. We're talking about, I live in Texas. I'm going to be spending the day with them tomorrow. They live in Texas part of the time, and then they live in California part of the time. I had my elevator moment, but then it got even better, because when the elevator door opened, Louise Hay was waiting there to greet them. So Louise Hay is standing there with her arms open, and I'm saying, this is my greeting too. So she greets us all right off the elevator and pulls us off the elevator together. And I was like, universe, that is amazing. Now, it was her 80th birthday, and I got to go to her 80th birthday party, and I was at this event. And why I'm talking about it changed everything was because at the time, I was trying to figure out what I was supposed to be doing next. I'd been working in nonprofit for a lifetime. I knew I wasn't going back. I wasn't sure what to do, and all the hows kept getting in the way. Well, how would this work? And how would I do this? And how would I create what's inside of me, what the universe is telling me to do? And over the 3 days I was in this, the universe was showing me, ding, 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 see, there's Louise Hay. and here's Wayne Dyer and Doreen Virtue and Sylvia Brown and Carolyn Mace and Sonia Choquette. All the big people were there. And I was in awe, and I was watching them, and they were on stage, and something in me was saying, that's you too. What I consider is every one of them are spiritual teachers. They're all spiritual teachers, and then they've built a platform, and they have books, and they have products and programs, and they coach, and they teach, and they travel and speak all the things that I now do. And at the time, the only thing I could imagine was, I want to be in Louise Hay's stable. I know a lot of people that have that desire and that wish and that dream. It was very special, Patricia, this whole trip. I know a lot of people that have that desire and dream. I knew that I was sitting there saying, I'm them. The other piece that really solidified it is I came from a medical background, from being a licensed professional, from working in psychology and medicine, and a lot of her people do as well. But they're also psychics and mediums and healers. And I am as well. So I was seeing they've blended. At the time I had not. They've blended the two worlds. And I had kept my medical model and my alternative and complementary medicine intuitive self separate. But I knew it was time to bring them together. So I knew why I had showed up at this conference. Along the way, I realized in this journey, I am not called to be in Louise Hay's stable. I am called to do what Louise Hay is doing. Wow. Much bigger calling. And once I got my business going consistently, for all the years I've been in business, every person who shows up in my world to work with me is a spiritual teacher. They don't come to me saying they're a spiritual teacher. They don't necessarily think they're a spiritual teacher. Some of them do, some don't. So they're not just healers and intuitives and helpers and experts and authorities and coaches. The difference in the people who come to me and work with me is they have a message that they need to build a platform on. And they need to get out there and speak their message in all the ways they're called to do that. And that's the difference. And that's what I do. I am a spiritual teacher, and I am called, thank you for the hearts and love. And I am called and have been doing for the past decade now, serving spiritual teachers, helping spiritual teachers get that message and build the platform. And I've been doing that for myself. And as this year I step even more and more into that, I've been working this year more intensively with some private clients than ever before. And they are spiritual teachers with these amazing messages, amazing life experiences. And part of my innate soul purpose, soul level purpose, is to pull that from them and support them in getting it out there, because it's challenging and it can be scary, and then people don't know how to do it. And we're each uniquely equipped. I come from that world of being a therapist, and I come from the world of being a chaplain and being a minister, and then a coach and an energy medicine specialist. And I just became a doctor of transformational coaching. I just received my doctorate. So you see, when I pull all these pieces together and I step into that place to really raise up spiritual teachers and really support spiritual teachers, you all, wherever you are, you're playing at some level, you're showing up at some level. And then you become aware, a lot of the time, that's how people end up coming to me, of a bigger calling and a reminder. So this landmark event for me where I really got clear, because I had to see people who had what I had doing what I thought Spirit was calling me to do. And I was thinking, how? How would I ever do it? It's impossible. No, here's a whole conference of people doing it. And really, you're going to do what Louise Hay is helping all these people do. And in that, you're going to grow in your own journey. And this has been coming back around for me more and more than ever before. I know I'm here to work with spiritual teachers. I've sometimes said intuitive women. I've sometimes said spiritual entrepreneurs. I've sometimes said women healers. It's all of those. But I'm claiming that it is spiritual teachers, and I'm talking about it. And this is a spontaneous pop-up training that I was really inspired to get on here today. And this is just the first one, but I've already made a list. I got inspired and I made a list of all the pieces I want to share and all the topics. So you can keep following me and you'll see them as I do them all, as I deliver them all over the next few days. But if you think you've missed something, I'm going to put the hashtag spiritual teachers coaching the world on every one of these. So all you have to do is go into Facebook and type in the search bar, hashtag spiritual teachers coaching the world. And then you'll be able to see all of this series that I'm doing. It's been coming in fast and furious, and I've been taking notes so I don't miss any of it. I also want you to know I have a free private Facebook group, Spiritual Teachers Coaching the World. If this is you, if you're called to do this, if you know you're a spiritual teacher, this combination that I have, that one, Patricia, you are a spiritual teacher, and beautiful, absolutely. I go to Patricia for my crystals and some of my sacred objects, and to ask her things that I need to know. Yes, spiritual teachers coaching the world. Thank you, Lynn. Make sure it's all together with no spaces, and then it'll come up after this video. What I want to get across to you is, if you are a spiritual teacher with a message, you build a platform. If you think of that Louise Hay model, it's just a perfect way for you to see. She had psychics, mediums, astrologers, intuitives, healers, doctors, psychologists, medical doctors, all kinds of people that were blending both the medical and the psychological models and the intuitive and the healing and the spiritual gifts. And we have them as these role models, and there are a lot of people being called. What makes them different is they stepped in and they had someone to lead them. I have had this journey growing myself as a spiritual teacher and a spiritual leader over the years. I've gotten the training, I've walked the path, I've done the work, and I continue to do that. And I had to go and learn the business, because when I first set out to do it and I opened my first healing center, a lot of you know my story. It was a very expensive hobby. And 18 months later, I was like, how am I going to do this? But here's what kept me going and why I'm talking to you again now. The one thing that keeps me up at night, the one thing that makes me keep going even when it's challenging, even when it's tough, is in my local community, in my online community, in my global community. I see amazing healers and spiritual teachers and spiritual leaders with all kinds of gifts. Aha moment, Lynn. And they are struggling, and they are challenged, and they're not able to do their work in the world. And Spirit is calling them, and they're thinking, this is a huge calling. What do I do? How do I answer this call? Or even, is it even possible? So I have paved the way to tell you it's possible. But I want you to know I sat there in that I Can Do It conference watching Louise Hay. Oh my gosh. Is this what I'm being called to do? Watching these people on stage, is this what I'm being called to do? And every time I would ask that, another spiritual teacher would show up in my life and would show up in my world wanting to be helped. And my business is full of them right now. Wait until you see the messages they have to carry out into the world. And if that's you, it's time. You've seen Louise Hay has moved on. Wayne Dyer has moved on. Sylvia Brown has moved on. People are moving on. And there is space for more people to step in and be the spiritual teacher and have the message and do the thing. And if that's you, it's for you as well. So taking me back to that time, yes, Patricia's saying on stage, teaching in her dream, and it felt so real. That's how it felt for me. A part of me was saying, this is you. This is what you're going to be doing. This is who you are. And another part of me, which I share with you now, was like, no, well, maybe. Do I dare? And then it kept calling bigger and bigger. And this experience has been coming back around and coming back around right now, because it's meant for me to share this message right now and share it even more and share it in an even bigger way with you. And to really claim, I want to share with you where I was when I realized this, because I came home from that conference. I had been serving in a church. I'd been doing a lot of work trying to reach community in that way. And God had been telling me, the people in this church, they can't hear you. Your vibrations are different. They can't hear you. Turn away from this church and go out into the community and build this thing. And I had been saying, no, no, no. And I'd been banging my head against a wall. Why do these people not want what I have? And I came home from that event and I turned around and I opened the healing center, and the women came from everywhere. And it was born inside of me, and I stepped out, and I've learned a lot along the way. And what is welling up inside of me right now is at an even greater level. This is who I am. This is what I do. This is who I am here to serve. And I want you to know, and I want to share it with you. When you make a clear ask, the opportunities show up. I'm being asked and nudged and pushed to grow again. Here I grow again. My clients are having tremendous growth this year. I'm going to be nudging them out of the nest even more, because that unique combination that creates my unique contribution and everything that's been leading to that tells me to start talking about this message. And there's more to this message. The next piece is going to be another piece of this about Wayne Dyer and Doreen Virtue and Carolyn Mason, Sylvia Brown and Louise Hay and all of them as they did their mission in the world. Some of this may trigger. Some of this, I hope, is going to resonate a lot and really awaken that inside of you if this is you. It did me. I came home and I've never been the same again. I have never gone back into a workplace, and I have continued to build and grow this business and get myself and my message out into the world. And I love how the universe works, because I've gone in and out of this before, and I've said, well, when I say women healers, when I say intuitive women, when I say helpers and healers, and especially when I say spiritual entrepreneurs, people understand that more. The spiritual teacher piece has been coming back around and back around and back around. I am called to call out to spiritual teachers. and the work that I do, all these different levels of work as a therapist, as a chaplain, as a minister, as a coach, as an energy medicine specialist, as a psychic and a medium and a healer myself, as an author, a speaker, and a teacher. All of those things. I have to stand here like this and claim those in front of you so that I can encourage you to claim them. So I'm doing it. It's time, and I'm doing it. And here's where the universe winked and said, you got it now. Because every week I draw a card, an oracle card for the week to give me a theme. And as soon as I fully embraced this and started making notes and said, okay, I just want to make sure. I had someone contact me and say, I'm a spiritual teacher and I need a coach. And I think you do that. And a lot of my clients, when they show up, they won't say they're a spiritual teacher. So right away I was like, okay. And then yesterday, a second person, I'm a spiritual teacher. I need to get out into the world. I drew my oracle card at the beginning of the week. And it's a card I don't get often. And it said, spiritual teacher. Then I have this group of friends. And on Sunday, we get together and we draw a card with each other and for each other. And it shows up again, spiritual teacher. It kept showing up in all these different ways. Everywhere I turned, something was saying spiritual teacher. And then I started dreaming about this Louise Hay event and birthday party and all those spiritual teachers that I was in front of for 3 days. I started thinking about it. It started coming back to me. And as soon as I would think about it, Louise Hay, Wayne Dyer would pop up in my news feed with a little blurb just to help me with my day. Thank you so much. It's a journey like no other. It's a journey I love. I am equipped to help you with all the parts of it. It's deep inner work to step into. And in the stepping into it, your life is affected and walking your talk. So I'm helping my clients with that just as much. But they also have a book and multiple books to bring out in the world, speaking online and offline, building the platform and online presence. I do all of those things that they need to become that powerful, influential, spiritual teacher out in the world, getting their message out in the world, because there are people out in the world that only can hear it from you, that are waiting for you before they step forward, that need you and need the message. My clients right now, when I glimpse their message, I know who's waiting for them, and nobody else is saying it like them. So if I can get them out there in the world, they are going to impact so many people. So I'm telling you, I've put myself on high alert. I'm standing up at this level. I'm talking about it. I'm calling you in. I'm letting you know my experience and how I can help you. And the main thing I want to get across in sharing that experience is a lot of you have had that similar experience, whether you sat in a conference like that or whether you've just seen these people, whether these people have come into your awareness. And it's time. It's time for you to step in. Thinking that you are called to be a spiritual teacher is a true calling. And if it's calling you, a way has been made. I've been walking that way. Last year, I took a deep spiritual dive when what I told Spirit at the beginning of the year was, my business is going great. My business is really busy. Hey, I got this. I'm going to do more of this. And what I ended up, because it was a 7-year numerologically for me, a 7 personal year, I ended up in a very deep spiritual dive. And now I'm coming out the other side of it with this message. I am all in. I'm speaking it. I'm calling out to you. I'm gathering this tribe within my bigger tribe. And right now, I'm almost full of private clients for the entire year. And I can tell you, every one of them is a spiritual teacher. That gives me further confirmation and validation. The ones that aren't are falling out of the work, falling away, or they are, and they're not yet ready to fully claim it and the journey. It is a journey that pays off like nothing else. Claimed. Yes, Brett. It is time. Patricia. Yes. And Lynn, if 7 was a year for you last year, the personal 8 year is the year of action and reaping the rewards. So you do not want to sit on this year. You would not believe so far in this year what I have done in the first quarter of the year in every area of my life, in leisure, in work, in finances, in health, in my marriage, in my family. It's amazing. It pays off. It's a great journey, and it is an initiation by fire. And I'm equipped to be here and help you every step of that way. I'm going to be back over the next few days. I already have a long list. It's all I'll be able to do, not to turn around and jump back on here and start talking again. So remember, this is the first of this series I'm going to be talking about. So you'll see them pop up on Facebook Live. But you can also search for them if you feel like you've missed any. Hashtag Spiritual Teachers Coaching the World. And I just changed my marketing and mindset for Spiritual Entrepreneurs Group to Spiritual Teachers Coaching the World. Because I was first given this back in 2012. I developed it, I built it, and then I didn't fully step in. And it's coming back around, and it's time. So if it's time for you, this is a soul-searching, taking honest inventory moment. I see some spiritual teachers in here, a lot of them. And I see some of you just hopping on, and I'm about to conclude. So I want you then to go and watch the replay of this, because I know you were called to grab this so you can watch it and get the whole story and see why you're being called into this live stream today. I see you. I know you as a spiritual teacher. I've got to step up so you can step up at that next level. I've got to claim more so you can claim more. My clients this year are growing right up under me. This is what I'm here to do, to help spiritual teachers be anointed, gain their authority, get out in the world, build the platform, get their message out in the world, all of that. Yes, Lynn, yes. If you have been called into this live stream, you will know why when you watch it. I'm so blessed at all of you that are here. This is further confirmation, because all the people who are showing up and commenting and that I'm seeing, you are spiritual teachers. It's time for the spiritual teachers to step forward, because spiritual teachers coaching the world is the most powerful thing on earth. And you claiming that place for yourself will be the most powerful thing in your life. I love you. I'm so excited to share this. Hashtag Spiritual Teachers Coaching the World. And my group, Spiritual Teachers Coaching the World. And if you've just popped in, I'm going to finish, and I want you to go and watch this, because you've been called into this room for a reason. So don't miss. Go watch this now, and you will know why you were called to watch it. Thank you so much. I'm so excited you were here. Go and watch this video. And if it's you, put an emoji in the comments of fire or heart or a smiley face with sunglasses, or claim it, or yes. We're claiming it. Spiritual teachers coaching the world. Stepping out in the world with our message. Thank you so much. I will see you online.